Friends, good morning or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Sri Hari from NRI Samay. Today, our guest on today's show is a man with many hats actually. While he was in Army, he led some of the finest innovations. As an educator, he held many seminars, lectured thousands of students on engineering and design. And now as a honeybee coordinator, he is responsible for identifying rural innovators, promoting them, patenting their innovations, and providing them with opportunities like never before. Brigadier Ganesh Pogula garu, welcome to NRI Samay.
Thank you very much.
So you were doing various things. Which hat did you enjoy more?
Surely the last one. The one which I picked up after the 60 years of my life. Now, what I learned from the people in moving around in the villages and the knowledge they poured on me, and the kind of a harmony they have with nature, absolutely revealing, and so much I've learned that, in fact, I equate this learning of 5 years much more than what I've learned the last 60 years.
That is incredible. Given your experience and from what you are saying. So, I mean, after a decorated career in the Army and a short stint at Bharat Dynamics Limited and as guest lecturer in universities, colleges, and so what led you to this path of identifying grassroots innovators?
Yeah, let me tell you, I grew up for 20 years in a village near Hyderabad. So I am not new to rural areas. But that was as a passive part of the system, but not active person. Then I joined Army immediately after engineering. For 35 years, I was in Army vertical, not exactly knowing what's happening in the society at the level of rural regions. Now, later I decided to come to Hyderabad, and I found absolutely unknown to me because including landmark shapes. In our times, only theaters are landmarks. Now theaters are no longer landmarks. The people changed, the culture changed, so it was new to me. Well, I was also then picked up for the director of production of Bharat Dynamics Limited, which makes missiles and torpedoes for the nation. While working, I met a lot of Telugu people and tried to understand them. My retirement of 6 years was due. While in the Army, we had a small problem after post-Kargil, where we had to do some innovatively to solve the problem in the Army. I was part of the group which introduced innovation in the Army, and we were very, very excited about the whole affair. When we did it, we also made a vehicle known as Windy, which is a multi-weapon platform, which fortunately walked on the Rajpath on the Republic Day Parade 2005, and it also fetched as the first patent for Indian Army. When we did that, National Innovation Foundation, where Anil Gupta is the Vice Chairman, who spoke to you some time back, invited us as a special guest to the governing body. I attended a couple of meetings with Dr. Mashilkar, Chairman, and we realized that the creativity of the Telugu people is not reported in the national database they have in the National Innovation Foundation. I innocently asked them that is it because Telugu people are not creative or we have any other problems? I don't find any Telugu people in this. Then Dr. Mashilkar said, no, that's not the issue. We don't have a committed volunteers in Andhra Pradesh to go to the villages, identify the creative people and bring them to the formal sector. Now that motivated me that when I hang up my uniform, I must go back to my roots and let me do this job what NIF is pursuing in the country. When I hung up my boots and also in BDL H60, I was thinking, what should I do? There were so many offers came to me like MD of this company in the domain knowledge what I had. I said, let me do something which I have never done it earlier. So let me go to rural area where I came from initially and see what I can do. But surprisingly, friends, when I went there, I found I can't tell them anything. I don't know agriculture, I don't know veterinary, I don't know health, I don't know soil, I don't know water. What can I tell them? My military background, my missile background, my engineering background doesn't help them directly. So I said, okay, when I can't tell them anything, let me learn. So I started learning from them. I started asking them. I started finding them out, finding their knowledge. It was amazing. And this way, slowly I got into it and I got addicted to it. Now I can't live without it.
Okay, that's an incredible story. So you are obviously involved with the Honeybee Network and also Palle Srujana in Andhra Pradesh. Can you tell us about what the work done by Palle Srujana?
Honeybee Network is a nationwide network which interfaces between the grassroots innovators and the National Innovation Foundation. You all know NIF, National Innovation Foundation, the formal organization. And the volunteer network, Honeybee Network, is a virtual organization. But it has an enormous number of volunteers of all hues in the country. And they are the people who go to the ground and get in touch with the innovators, scout them, document their knowledge. We in Honeybee AP, we call it, in the Honeybee Nationwide Network, Honeybee AP is a component of that network in Andhra Pradesh. Again, virtual. So we started this when I came from Army in 2005 in November. On 31st October, I hung up my uniform. 20th November 2005, we started Honeybee AP in Andhra Pradesh. And that's a voluntary work. A few of them started, 2, 3 of us. And we slowly try to spread the word and pursue the mission of NIF to identify the grassroots innovations and creativity in the villages and other people in the formal sector, and bring back that to the formal system and see what can we do. And also, horizontal dissemination of the same knowledge, that's from land to land, village to village, farmer to farmer, technology commons, no cost. These 2, 3 activities we started. And we started the activities first 2, 3 years. We then made it virtual Honeybee AP only, not registered, and no support from anybody. We used our own volunteers, we used our efforts. At some stage, what happened, we started linking the grassroots innovators to the formal system. The formal system has to give them some support for making the prototypes, making some sort of testing facilities. Now, for all that, and also money for marketing, or working in marketing. Now, they said, who are you? They said, we are Honeybee AP virtual. He said, that we don't recognize. You have to have legal, formal recognition. Then only you can support those people, and you can recommend those people to us. And NABARD, NAM, and FAPSI, and so many other institutions, they said, if you are not formal, we don't talk to you formally. Then we have to register an organization called Palle Srujana, which is, meaning is village creativity. And that formal organization, under this umbrella organization, we work, Honeybee AP works. We run a magazine, Palle Srujana, which also is only reflects the knowledge of the village people from within the state and outside the state also. And then we also have similar other activities, like we have tribal home running in Araku, that also we do. A lot of other activities, also family. Many activities work under Palle Srujana organization. Palle Srujana formal phase. Honeybee AP is our heart. That's where we started. And rest all slowly as we go on, we find it amount of excitement and we are pursuing those activities.
And there is also a magazine, right? Palle Srujana magazine, which is published in Telugu. Can you tell about what you cover in that magazine?
Yeah, Palle Srujana is again, we started in 2006 May as a quarterly to bring out the knowledge of the local people, the way they tell us, the way in fact they write themselves and we don't even edit it. It contains only the knowledge of the people, their experience in the agriculture or veterinary or health, can be women or men or anybody. They need not be villages, but they're in the grassroots or informal sector, which we define as those below 12 standard school. And that's a sector we take on. And those people, they have any kind of a knowledge which is useful to many others in society. We put it there so that the dissemination is possible without a great effort. Now, here we don't take any sponsors or any advertisements because we want to keep it pure knowledge. And believe me, it's going on well. It's the 6th year of publication now, 7th year publication. We convert from quarterly to bi-monthly now because we're getting more information, we're getting more innovators, more support from the people in the state. And we also add about 20% of its content we get from other states' grassroots knowledge, which is relevant to our state and the crops and various types of animal husbandry we do in the state.
I see. Excellent. So most of the identification of this grassroots innovation happens via your Sodhyatras, Chinna Sodhyatra and Industrial Sodhyatra. Obviously, these are Sodh means search and Yatra means a tour, and you take this up by walking miles and miles on a daily basis when you go on these yatras. So why did you choose this way of identifying the talent? And you can also go on in a car or in some kind of a transportation instead, right?
Yeah, interesting question. And it has been asked to us many times, and we found answer after really going through the process. Till the time when I didn't know why we went on walking. Sodhyatra precisely is a pilgrimage to the temples of knowledge. And the temples of knowledge, we feel they are villages. We believe that they have tremendous harmony with the nature over centuries. And the relation has been time-tested and traditionally passed on to generations to live with the nature around. If you simply ask, what do people do every day in the villages? They work with nature. They have water, plants, animals, soil, air, fire. What do they do? There's nothing else to do. They play with nature every day. They work with nature, and that's all the livelihood. There's nothing unnatural around them. Now, when they work with nature every day, there's a livelihood, and when you work with something every day, you develop compatibility, develop understanding, and develop harmony with it, and that they're doing for ages. A child, right from the childhood, he plays with the nature. Now, that's the knowledge they have. And believe me, friends, nature changes every minute. Yet these people, whom we think that lesser morsels in the information and the knowledge, they cope with the change. Yet they produce for all of us. Yet they give us food. In the technology, any change is not acceptable. And because any change, I know as a missile man, if one nut is turned 1/4 millimeter less, it falls. But there, they change, they cope with the change every day, every minute, all their lives. Yet they produce. That is the challenge they have, because they understand the nature. Now, when they know so much, they will not speak because they're not used to speaking. They're not used to talking and giving lectures. They're used to listening to nature, listening to the people. And they're also very humble people, that anybody who comes in a very good dress and good car with some money wallet hanging, they think they're superior people. Therefore, they don't open their mouths. In all respects, none of us listen to them, but we only tell them. We prescribe. We will judge them, and we say they don't know anything. I will tell them. It may be extreme step I am saying, but this is my experience. Now, to understand them, you have to. They must. When you go to the village, they must feel comfortable with you. That's possible only when you walk to the village and blend with the environment, see which kind of trees are there, which kind of nature is there, and keep going and walking, and you blend with the environment. When you walk in, he welcomes with a smile. And then you develop a rapport that, oh, he looks like me. A bit different, but looks like me. He didn't come in a car and open the door and came down with the goggles on. And he also sees me walking like he walks, then identifies with me. Then when he finds a rapport, communication starts with a more comfort. And when communication starts, I can get his knowledge. I can understand him. He will love to share with me. He thinks I'm closer to him. It happens to us. It happened to us. Everywhere. The oldest people talk to us because when we walk to them. We walk in the same sun, same way, and we have the sweat, they have the same sweat. That makes a difference. We eat with them. We sleep in the same village where they give us a place. This amazing blending comes up. And even for one night we blend with them, my dear friends, they treat us as their relations for ages. Urbans cannot do that. Those 6 hours we spent with them, they treat us as their final, I mean, the relatives there as a kind of a tremendous affection they give us. So all this, that's what basically we walk. And another thing is, knowledge has no legs. We have legs. We have to go to the knowledge, walk to the knowledge. And when you struggle and go there, you understand. Your mind is open. When you don't struggle, your mind is full. If you walk 10 kilometers, go to a village, your mind is emptied. When it's emptied, there's openness. Not empty, it's open. It's open, it receives. If it is full, it doesn't receive. When you go in the car, the images go very fast. You can't see surroundings. The natural pace of the man is walk, not car, not bus, not even motorcycle. The natural pace is walk. That's where you understand. The creation is like that. So we thought Shodhayatra is the best way. In the little time we had in those 6 days, 7 days, or 3 days, we must find the most effective way of getting the maximum benefit out of this effort we put in. Our children put in both walk with us. So we chose this way. And believe, friends, we find it very effective.
Right, sir, you mentioned about how in rural areas they can adapt easily, but unfortunately the trend we have been seeing is that more and more villagers are moving to the urban areas, and the population in rural sector is becoming lesser percentage. So what do you, when you connect with these people, what are their main concerns that they are moving to a completely almost in different world, different part of the world to major cities?
Yeah, see, when we go to village, we only see what they do. When we are generally, not so they are generally, we don't understand what they think. We see people going out. We don't ask them why they are going out. We don't ask them, are they happy in the slums of urban areas? No one wants to live in slums of urban areas, living in natural surroundings in the village. Where are they going? They're forcing them to do. Our systems, our plans, our implementation, our inefficiencies, our corruption, but all together, a big package, is making them leave the place. Our agricultural technologies will give them. We give them what we have, not what they want. We never ask them what they want. I was working in Assambet area in Marnagar district, a tribal. We keep on discussing our students and them for 3 hours, 4 hours. At the end he says, sir, please give me only one thing. I don't want anything from the government. Nothing I need. Please give me my jungles back, my forest back. My livelihood is in the forest. Imagine, what is speaking? Do you understand what the meaning of the gravity of his request? We have taken away his jungles in the name of development. And jungle is a livelihood for them. All the rejects of plants and animals are all our food for us. All rejects of this. He's not even cutting them, rejects, the fruits, the roots, the leaves, branches, milk, meat. These are things used. No, we today we make forest, we call it afforestation. It is not a natural forest. It is a line trees with no bushes, nothing around. You call it afforestation. You can have livelihood in that jungle, which is that particular forest which is planted by people or the forest department. You take away the natural jungle, which gives you livelihood, and plant something, a forest, which is a line trees, eucalyptus or something like that, and you call it forest. Forest cover is not for clouds to give water. Natural forest is meant for the people, animals, birds, bushes to live, creepers to live. Where is the forest we are giving it? Is afforestation or creating natural jungle or creating it just for trees? Now, these differences you don't understand. Forest department doesn't understand. The person who is living on the jungle understands. Now, we are driving them out of the place. We are making their conversion process, the agriculture, most expensive by increasing the input costs. When I was a childhood, till 1976, my village never had urea. My village is 100 kilometers from Hyderabad. 1976. And then now we teach organic farming to them. What did you do till 1976 in the village? Organic farming. We said, you do this, you get higher productivity. We've given it. But we didn't know where to stop. We gave them hybrid. The native seeds have gone. The local food chain is broken. We said, surface water. Your surface water is gone. You go into the well. Give technology to go into well. Deeper, 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 deeper. We provide them on subsidies, those submersible pumps and all those drilling wells. You must give it, but have a balance of it. Where's the balance? It's become privatization. People made money out of it. But the effect of it is suffered by, again, the villager, not the people who sold the pumps and bores, not the government who made plans. Today, villages have no surface water. In my childhood, I used to take bath in any of the wells. We never had, even summer, we never had to go for water somewhere. It's available. Today, there's no surface water. Now, when water is not there, the jungles are not there, what does the Zameen do? What does the earth do? Without all this, birds are not there. Do you know, my dear friends, the trees planted by birds are much more than all humans together put. And if the birds are gone away, where do the plants come again? Where do the jungles come again? No, we have gone into a negative cycle. And it is done by the system, not by the people who are living there. Now, when we drive them out of the village, then they say they have changed their minds. And when they come to cities, they are no good. They have no skills. And they are labor. And labor system, labor, the way he lives in the dirt, without law and order, without health, without problems, it's miserable. Interesting thing I tell you, people who come from coastal district or someplace in Hyderabad for labor, they'll never allow their relations to visit them. Yeah. Because the size of the house in Hyderabad is 6 by 6 feet, whereas in their village they'll have 600 by 600 house. They don't allow them to visit. So doesn't it tell you that they're not interested coming there on their own? If there's a choice. Let us build choice there. Let us build a choice, let them make them comfortable to live there. And if we can't plan it, then we accept the failure. And don't blame them. I hope I made my point. I can talk more on this, many more, but I don't know how much time we have. Is that, we used to call Samruddhi, villages are Samruddhi in its childhood. Samruddhi is something, the meaning of Samruddhi, I understand, is it takes care of every coexistent, in the nature. The birds, animals, creatures, everybody has something to eat, live, and little surplus is known as Samruddhi. The word Samruddhi is missing today because the government doesn't think of Samruddhi as a basis of development. It's a development, is materialistic development. In the human resource management, it is said that if you have a team and each person has different strengths and different weaknesses, we have to build on the strengths of individuals, not on their weaknesses. Villages have strengths, villages have weaknesses. What does the development plan do today? Build on the voids, build on the weaknesses, not on the strengths. What they don't have, you give it. It's wrong, but give what they have and incrementally increase it. Tell me one particular plan of this government or system which has added to their strengths. If you call finance, SSG is a strength, dear friends, villages never handled money. Villages, they handled kind. The only money handled was the banya. Handled was the banya in the village, the Vaishya in the village. Today we make money-centric world. For education of the children, we need thousands and lakhs. For health of their family, thousands and lakhs rupees are required. If one person gets sick in the family, they are poor by 1 year. Everything you made it money-based. Who has made this money-based? The system, the present economic policies. The moment villages are made money-centric, now they look for money. So let's have two economies, urban economy, rural economy. If you want to keep villages intact, Samruddhi intact, the conversion process efficient in the villages to give us food, the biodiversity to remain, let's have two policies, two different policies. money policy and without money policy. It is economic policy in the villages, monetary policy in the cities. Something like that we have to divide. Let's not go by what the world does. Let's customize our economic policy to suit our diversity, to suit our people, to suit their language. Now, don't blame them that they are running away. I, for one, having visited more than 600 villages in the last 5 years, all over the country, from Rajasthan to Mizoram and Kashmir to Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and walked out 3,000 miles. I believe that there's nothing wrong with the people. They are suffering every day. They are paying tax up to 80% in their income in terms of corruption and inflation, for which they are not responsible. Every day they pay. I pay taxes by maximum 30% once a year. They pay every day. Now this is a kind of a scene they have created for them, life created for them by most educated people. And who is at the corruption in this country? Educated people. What corruption they do? What power they have? Nothing. They will suffer. If education beats corruption, let's not educate people. It's extreme view, but I'm just saying. I hope I answered your questions clearly.
Yeah, I had similar feelings, but listening from you, I couldn't believe the things I was listening, so I just kept listening. It's an incredible story. I have similar theories, but they are theories where you are in the ground and you watch them through this, and you are explaining. So it was an incredible. You almost walked into the rural areas.
Let me share with you one interesting thing when we listen on the way in Shoryatra. I hope I have time to speak about it.
Yeah, sure. So go ahead.
Yeah. See, we were in Jharkhand. When we walk in Shoryatras, a lot of people generally, everyone don't come in the front and ask. This experience all over. We have to ask the people, elders to come, get the people together. People watch, but they don't come forward and talk to us. But in Jharkhand, in the backyard of Ranchi, it's a little deep inside, a poor area, underdeveloped. The people were so inquisitive, they used to stop us. Come, sit on this cot, we put it there. Now tell us why you have come here. You must tell and go. We say we have come to learn. I said, don't joke with us. We have nothing to share with you. But you must tell us. Then they say, okay, if you don't tell us, sit here, we'll entertain you. They sing songs. They do everything. But they want to talk to us. What amazing thing. How many of us do in towns and cities that kind of a thing? And it happened in every village, poorest of the poor. What a satisfaction, what happiness we have. And in one village, when there were 70 of us, including some people from your country, yours people, 70 of us, we sat down, and about 150 people, village people, and a lot of people, and few ladies were sitting in front of us. And one lady, about 50 age, she said, I want to talk in. She speaks a dialect. So one of our volunteers was translating. She says, I'm a midwife in this village. Midwife is the one who carries deliveries and other things, those who do not know this word. Now she says, you are 70 people? She points at us, she says, you are 70 people, more than 90% are wearing specs. But in my village, she shows to the entire crowd, not even a single person is wearing specs. And he says, why? Because I delivered all of them.
I see.
This is I was the one I got deliveries done, and I've done a good job. Now, we didn't understand what she said. So we said, okay, but you not made a point. What are your observation you made? Tell us what it is. He says, see, and she was emotional there. She says, when a baby in the womb stays for 9 months in a darkness, when the baby comes out, in our hospitals, they put 1,000-watt bulb so that doctors and nurses can see the baby well. Fine. But when the baby comes and opens her eyes are struck with 1,000-watt bulb. What happens to the baby? In the villages, they keep oil wicks, lanterns, close the windows. And that's where my mother did deliveries to my sister-in-laws and my sisters. I used to feel that my mother was unwise by keeping all of them closed. Now, today, after 60 years, when the midwife tells me that that's the way to deliver a baby, to keep her eyes better, acclimatize with the environment, and slowly opens up, and without having a permanent effect damage in the cornea, I realized at 60 years my mother was right.
Yeah.
Tell me, it's a knowledge which we have to validate ourselves and see how far she's right. But it will strengthen our argument.
Yeah, unfortunately, the things that we learned for centuries and centuries, it negates what the previous teacher said. So
we remain where we are.
Yeah.
In Araku Valley, we went for a Shodhayatra. There, we met an old lady who was about 95. In our yatras, what we do is we felicitate people who lived beyond 90. We believe that the people who live that long must have done something good for themselves, good for society, otherwise it's not easy to live that long. And we think they must be respected while they are here. They're divine on the earth. So we go to their doorstep, we make them sit there, we respect them, we touch their feet and give a shawl, give some flowers or something and talk to them, get their blessings. That's what we do in all our Shodhayatras. In one of the villages near Araku Valley, Araku city, town, whatever is there. There we found a lady of 95 plus years, and she had thick black hair. Thick black hair at 95. Yeah. Then I couldn't resist. I said, Amma, how did you get this hair? How did you manage? Yeah. She was incoherent. She couldn't speak. Then I talked to the people, the girls in the village, I called them. Says, did you learn from her? They said, no. Look, we lost a wonderful knowledge from her because we have not talked to her when she was sane and coherent. We lost a knowledge, and that will always be a loss to our generations. That's why we believe, that when an old person dies, a library is burnt. We lose so much if we don't document their knowledge while they are coherent and able to talk.
Right.
So many things happen. Yeah.
Gopal Garu, we were talking about how the villagers are migrating to cities. Now there is a new scenario where the city is going to the villages. The HMDA, Hyderabad Municipal Development Authority, they are expanding, and they are expanding to several, I think, thousands of villages now. Surrounding the Hyderabad metropolitan city. And for example, if we take the instance of Pochampalli Weavers, now they will also come under HMDA when it's fully implemented. Can you tell us, do you have an idea on if it's going to change the lives of Pochampalli Weavers? Is it going to get worse or get better with this move?
No, I've seen this letter of Dr. Narasimha Reddy, and it's quite a good letter. But Palle Srujana, I've been working with the Weavers families, the Asu family. I'm sure you're aware of it. About 100 families were working in Warangal and Nalgonda districts, and people who are at the lowest level, that is with the 1 and 2 looms. We're not talking about those who have 50 looms or 100 looms. Not cooperative societies, the individuals, who are 80% of the weavers are individuals. They're not part of cooperative societies. I don't know how many of my friends listening know this fact. Corporate societies have their own private domain. They work for themselves, the politicians, the IAS officers. They're interested in the lot of the entire Pochampalli Weavers. And this is my understanding for the last 3 years of my association. This is more than 150 villages in these 2 districts involved in Pochampalli saris. Now, tell me, if you are in your house and you're doing your work, how can government say don't do your job? Will anybody force you?
No. Yeah.
If I have my weaving inside, No HMDA, no GHMC, no government tells you stop weaving because you become metropolitan. Who stops your work? The issue is not this. Issue is, are we making that handloom viable to them? Whether today or tomorrow, today without HMDA, tomorrow with HMDA. If they are interested in their livelihood, interested in keeping the tradition, Pochampalli tradition, we can always make it in any context. The willpower, the inclination to sustain the tradition for the generation, being a very artistic art, it should be there in the system, the people, the leaders. Poor people, what they do, tomorrow you don't give them, you throw them out, or real estate goes up so much, for these people, if the livelihood is not good, they'll sell it off. Now, you want to privatize real estate and kill this tradition? Choice is yours. You choose. Or make that livelihood viable. Today, they don't get 5,000 rupees per month, husband and wife, work 30 days. We know this fact. 80% of the weavers don't get this money. 5,000 per month they don't get when their husband and wife work complete 30 days. So, how will they live? You make it 10,000, you make it 15,000. You can make it. It's possible. But we're not trying hard. No, I for one believe that city or anywhere, if I want something in my house, nobody stops me. To kill a handloom tradition, you don't need HMDA's master plan, my dear friends. You can kill any time. So, as a society, we have to lay down priorities. As the government lay down priorities, what is I have to do? And anything can be done. And the priority should be in the interest of the public, community, not in the interest of some agencies or internal, external agencies to look after their interest.
Well said, sir. Usha Garu on Facebook, she's asking, when you identify the talent, in the rural talent, how do you encourage them and maybe grow them and nurture them? So what do you do after that?
Excellent. I thought if nobody asked a question, I'd speak about, but thanks, Usha Garu. I hope you are listening. So wonderful. Now, when we get to know somebody, we go to their village. We get to know so many means, newspapers or friends or some phone calls or through Palle Srujana letters or whatever the way we reach them. There's so many to reach, but we reach some of them. I'll give a specific case where perhaps it answers your question better. I heard about an interesting farmers meet in near Guntur district, where ICAR scientists, ICAR is the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, that is the biggest scientific establishment in agriculture, field of agriculture in the country, having more than 40 laboratories. Now, one of the scientists in a farmers meet challenged the farmers. I repeat, challenged the farmers that if you develop a device which can store the seeds in wet fields after the paddy is cut, then your poverty will go away. The meaning is that when the paddy is cut in the month of October, November every year in the coastal area, there is enough residual moisture in the soil and also some fertilizers because they are canal fed, not rain fed. Now, to avail this moisture, they say immediately within 7 to 10 days, you sow the seeds of maize or whatever, the java or whichever the right thing to do. And if you do that, out of 6 irrigations, 6 irrigations, 2 to 3 are not required. So you save 30% of your cost, input cost. So that is the scientist said you must do this is known as zero tilling, and without tilling. There is no tilling, there is no plowing. You just put seeds by putting holes and put the seed and close it down. To do this, he said, a lot of manpower is required, and at the time manpower is involved in the harvesting and other things. So if you don't have manpower, after 10 days, the water goes away and there is no moisture left in the soil. It has to be done in 7 to 10 days, and today 4 lakh acres are being used for a zero tillage activity in 3 districts of coastal area, Andhra Pradesh. Now, where is the manpower to look after that? Enormous manpower is required for that. Now, this scientist says, you find some mechanical device, you will solve your problem. Now, I was surprised when I came to know the scientist is challenging them, whereas he should have done himself. That's one. But notwithstanding, my friends, one farmer raised his hand, and his name is Guravaya, from village Rupanaguntla near Narsarapeta. He says, I'll do it. He was 61 when he raised it. Now he's 63 now. When I came to know this in the newspapers, and one of my innovator told me, I rushed to his village, Rupanaguntla, and spent whole day with him. I found him amazingly brilliant and dedicated farmer. More than 45 years he did farming. And you only know that a rich farmer, his children are settled down. He need not work for this particular innovation. Is not going to help him. Even without farming, he can live. That much of money he has. But he said, I will do it. But Guravaya Garu has only one passion and a confidence that he can do it, and his concept is very good. But he has no engineering knowledge. And with engineering knowledge, he cannot make a pilot prototype. And he doesn't have enough money for this. He has money, but cannot enough money to invest on this. So when I understood the whole thing, I came back to Hyderabad. Firstly, we understood, we identified a person, we found a potential innovator. His innovation can help lakhs of farmers. Now that struck us, and we said this is a case to pursue it. Then when we came to Hyderabad and talked to NABARD CGM, NABARD is a National Agricultural Banking for Rural Development. In short, they call it NABARD. It's an RBA, Finance Ministry organization. I talked to CGM, he's head of the Andhra Pradesh regional office, a very good man, Mr. Mohane Garu. I told him the whole story like I told you now. And he was so nice. He said, Brigadier, put up an application, I'll sanction it. He has not seen Guravaya, he has not seen anybody. I put him an application on behalf of Guravaya, he sanctioned ₹1.5 lakh. This is a grant, my dear, it's not a loan. Imagine Mohane Garu, NABARD has invested public money, believing the brains of Guravaya, who is an informal sector, never gone to school. Isn't it interesting? And Guravaya Garu needs engineering. Me and him went to Narsarapeta, which is the closest place, and said, okay, let's find passionate people, roadside mechanics who can do his job for him. You know, innovation is more of failures and frustration than success. You keep doing something, you fail. Keep something, you fail. And all the people who are involved in this activity should have same determination as Guravaya. It's not easy to find. But we were optimistic. We went around the whole day. We found 3 people of 3 different trades. 2 young people, little elderly one, all below 50. We caught them and we managed to put up a team, engineering team with Guravaya. And we said we'll pay you only at the end because we don't have money to pay right now. Whatever funds left, we'll put in this. They agreed. Wonderful. It's so nice to see even the people at the low economic level also come up with come forward to do such interesting activities for society. And how many of us we can do such a great sacrifice. And these people, how they did is, I was watching them closely. No, we for one, what we do is we don't interfere in the innovation as such. We enable innovation, but even if we have a formal knowledge, we don't pollute the natural instincts of innovator. So we watch, we don't interfere. And I find personally in the last 6 years I was there, this approach is better, not to influence him with a formal knowledge. Guravaya Garu and his team make one product in Narsarapeta, one version, take to the village, his village, and demonstrate it to 50, 60 farmers. Listen to all of the ideas. The whole team, the 3 plus 1, 4. Give them lunch. All process takes about 3-4 hours. In the village, everybody talks because they're all going to use that machine. And that idea is what they get it. They shortlist some ideas, go back to Narsarapeta, improve it, come back again after 5-6 days. They did 7 times. It's not a crowdsourcing or mind sourcing, whatever the jargons you use it. And you use the social capital, free of cost. The brains are free of cost to all of us. They use the social capital. And of 7th time, there is an observation by the farmer. He says, okay, you can use it. All of them said, we can use it. And Guravaya declared that my equipment is ready. And his inspection, his validation is a farmer. Now, we were so fortunate to get involved in such a great activity. I've never seen in any missile field or any army, anywhere, I've not seen what he has done. 1 lakh rupees, you develop a farming equipment which can save 30% of input for 4 lakhs acres It's equivalent to 80 crores per season recurring every year. It's all because you use social capital, which all of us have. That's the brilliance of Guravaya. I hope, Usha Garu, I try to answer your question to some extent.
I can tell one example because we had him on the show. His name was Uddhab Bareli. He's from Assam.
Yeah.
And so he was also actually inspired by Anil Gupta. Anil Gupta identified him and...
he made the pomegranate machine.
Yes, yeah. He was on the show earlier and he was explaining about similar things. How much he struggled before getting him a name and getting his product into the market, but now he's the happiest man in the world.
And for Guravaya, we got a Samsung Innovation Quotient, which runs in the National Innovation for general IIMs and IITs and MNCs. Out of 200 entries, Guravaya stood second in the country. We got 3 lakhs award recently. We predicted him there as one of them. Now, the innovation need not be from a very educated or a knowledgeable area, so-called knowledgeable. It can come from anywhere, as long as it impacts millions of people. And it impacts recurringly, not one time.
Sir, Brigadier Garu, how is the support from government for what you are doing, Palle Srujana Honeybee Network, and did you get any infrastructural or financial support from them? So what's happening now?
Yeah. Firstly, I told you we're a volunteer body. We don't take any contribute anywhere for our work. But National Innovation Foundation, being a organization part of the central government of India, they get some funds. And that funds are used to support making a prototype or bit of marketing or bit of validation. Those costs they give it, or patenting costs they will pay. Graft innovator need not pay. That's the kind of support we got from National Innovation Foundation. But I think your question is, I'll answer this question separately in Andhra Pradesh. My experience in Andhra Pradesh, linking informal innovations to the formal system. What is the support of formal system? If I may answer that way, I hope it is okay with you.
Okay, sure, sir.
Yeah. So when we find grassroots innovations, most of them need validation, and they are very crude. They are concept proved, but not really marketable. And in the mass manufacture, they don't withstand the liability under certain annotating maintenance. All kinds of things don't work. It's only for local use, it's fine. And they don't use best of material because they use what's available. They don't do standardization because they don't have any. They don't even know what's available in the market, what's not standard, what is not standard. So just see what is available there to make it. When you wanted to mass manufacture, put into industry, this doesn't work. So there is a degree of re-engineering required to be done to make it marketable and producible with optimal cost. Now, this is the job of the formal sector. And this linking we have to do by projecting the innovation as a good innovation, useful innovation to people at large in society. So while we do our bit, society is not, formal system is not ready to lap it up, not ready to take on. Now, we didn't understand this. Government, when I say formal system, includes government, entrepreneurs, public, private, engineering colleges, anybody you call it. All these systems are not ready to accept it. We didn't know. We kept on knocking all the doors. I have the advantage of age, a brigadier with the President's Award. All this I use it as a weightage to take entry into any secretary, any minister, anybody, and nobody stopped me so far and very patiently heard me. But that's all. They did nothing later. It went on for 4 years, and suddenly we find that we have piled up the information we collected from innovation collected from the grassroots in Andhra Pradesh, but we could bring nothing to the market, nothing to the people. And that worried us. And we kept analyzing why. And few analysis what we did was that it doesn't give margins. There's a lot of hard work. The market is spread geographically. The transfer costs are high because you make it in a city and take it to the villages. And if you don't make it in the villages, again it's costlier there because materials are not available, material has to move. When the transaction costs increase, the cost of the product increases, affordability reduces. So there's a conflict between the standardization and affordability. There's a conflict between the accuracy and affordability. There's also conflict between centralized manufacturing and decentralized manufacturing. So we understood that grassroots innovations, if they have to be made available to the people, they should be manufactured locally, closer to the community. And not one, hundreds of locations where it's required. So we need entrepreneurs in the villages. Instead of one person in a city making and supplying to 30,000 villages of Andhra Pradesh, let 3,000 people in the mandals or district headquarters somewhere, they manufacture supply to 30,000 villages. So we need to reverse the existing model that few people serve billions, millions serve billions. The wealth distributes, doesn't concentrate. And it's possible with grassroots innovations. Because a farmer found a solution for his problem today, it is required by many farmers doing similar job. Maybe a little bit of customization required, but there is no solution. So this is what is possible. And then we said, system cannot take on, government cannot take on, and they have their rehearsals. Then we said, let's do it ourselves, and we started a organization on Creative Minds. It is a company having shareholders of all our innovators of Andhra Pradesh. And we buy the innovation from them and take the transfer of technology, pay him, and also if required, he can manufacture or he can be part of this, and we market it. And whatever it comes, 50% of profits go to him, balance 50% distribute amongst other innovators who did not have the privilege of marketing their things. It's slowly catching up. And today we have, fortunately, Creative Minds has orders of 7 crores. And all belongs to innovations. And we did it because we thought in 60 years, three of us were working this honeybee AP. If we cannot put our wisdom, who will put in? So in a way, when government and the industry and the entrepreneurs showed us the door, we found a window, a better window.
Excellent, sir. We have a caller. Can you please tell your name and ask the question?
Hi, sir. My name is Srikant. I'm calling from Los Angeles. First of all, Brigadier, thank you very much for being on the show. So my question is, is there something that these weavers can do from their side to adapt to the modern market needs? Because they still stick to the old techniques. So is there anything these weavers can do to adapt to this new technologies that are emerging, sir? Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the question. Weavers, let me take a little understanding of the weaver situation today. I'll be talking mostly about the Pochampalli Weavers because I have first-hand knowledge of them for the last 2 years. I had a very close interaction with them in their villages, with their families, and still we have continued to have. Now, weavers are very interesting phenomena. They're very intelligent and nice people, very skilled people. And generally, they don't involve in politics or any other activity. They do their job and quietly be part of society. But what's happening is they are less progressive in their outlook. I'll talk about a weaver of 1 or 2 looms, the lowest in the economical ladder. That guy, he gets thread for his for 1 month's requirement on credit from a master weaver who has got the ability to give designs and thread. On credit because they have no cash. And the credit thread comes, the weaver will be at the receiving end to get the thread, whatever the master weaver gives, whether low quality or any quality, cost, any cost, design, what the design he gives. Because he has nowhere to go because he's the only one gives him credit. Or another master weaver, same conditions. He has no better choice. So he gets the low quality thread, he gets the low design, whatever the design he gives, and low quality thread, losses are more, quality of sari is not good. Then at the end of the month, when he makes 7 to 8 saris, and he starts selling to the same master craftsman, he says, your sari quality is not very good, therefore I pay you less. So he gets less paid because of low quality. For none of his fault, he puts his effort, but thread is not good. isn't it not the best? Now, he takes it because the next month thread he has to give it again. So he gives the entire sarees, takes away some cash, and also thread for next month. Now, this trap is going on for generations. And none of the weavers can't think of, the people at the lower rung, think of a life without credit. Just imagine. This is the kind of it. Nobody has solved this problem. There's nothing very big that you and I cannot solve it. And they are getting into the trap. They helplessly watch how do they get out of it. And this is all the people who are not part of cooperative societies are there. There are many. Why don't they join cooperative society? There are different stories about it. We can talk that later. Much, much different stories. So, how do we ensure that they'll come out? So when we understood this problem, we formed the ASU family, which contains people like all of you who are members of this. I think some of the people, you must be members of ASU family. And with Global Family, we have requested that let's all put in and see how we can, weavers a lot can go up. Maybe they earn 10,000 per month, if not 5, at the present rate of 5,000 per month. Now, any weaver has three elements: input, the process, and the output, which is sarees. The input part is they must get a quality thread, reasonable price throughout the year. We arranged that. We went to Bangalore, talked to the people, and they appreciated that we are doing a good job. They said we'll give you some less cost, and they're giving a very good quality thread. We gave them. And we gave them, okay, we'll give you first month free. Next month onwards, you pay for the thread and also pay the loan. And after some time, you'll be without loans. They didn't believe it. They said, can we be without loans? Now, out of the 50 families, we have more than 10 families are without loans because we repaid it. Because our Silk Nidhi, we built up with the friends like you here, about 3-4 lakhs. With that, we kept on giving it. And in the last 2 years, more than 10 families, I think they have cleared their debt. And today, monthly thread they're buying from their money. It's nothing very difficult to do it. Individuals did it, not government. I believe individuals are richer because they are much more than governments. So we went to the rich people, not the poor people, and they did it. Now it's going on, it's going on. So input can be controlled. And by giving this quality thread, the sarees are highly qualitative. They stand, they don't fold. When you fold, unfold, it won't go bad. And they look good. They fetch more money. And they prefer to buy, not fetch more money. And they're getting it. Now, as for this is the first part, input part. And the good thread will give them almost 200 rupees savings per kg because the wastage is less. This is also a part of the quality thread supply. So input we try to make some advantage. All the suggestions came from them. We only implemented their suggestions. That's what ASU family meetings we decided this. And the process, and second part, process is concerned, ASU mission itself is a big advantage to them. And many other innovations slowly, Malaysian and his team are bringing out. You know about Malaysian who was in NRI Samay some time back. There a lot of other things and more he is doing it. And with that, the process itself is fairly stabilized and can be improved upon. Automation is not required. The final part is the products. Now, they have to be sold at a good price so that the income reaches the weavers. The point which our friend has raised now, she can't be raised. Now, the master weaver takes it for 2,000 rupees and sells it for 5,000 to 6,000 rupees. And these people could not go to the market and do it. Now, we said we don't want to go to master weaver. We'll buy from these people and we'll sell in the market. Now, to sell in the market is not easy because there is a competition, there is a marketing cost, and there is a wide publicity all over the country and all over the world. So we are trying to reach through ASU family, trying to reach the web, and trying to organize, revive the old tradition of weavers selling sarees with the women directly. This is our tradition, if you all recall. Weavers come and sell it, and the ASU family volunteered, some members volunteered to go. And recently in Suresh House, last month, we have sold 25 sarees in 2 days. Mother and father, they invited the weavers, and they invited the whole colony around, and they sold 25. And we are doing this in various places. And we all can do much more like this wherever we are. We can always support. And on our web, we can put it with the rates and the rates in the market rates with us, many marketing techniques. And any one of you are welcome to suggest and improve the sale part. That's where we are stuck. You can help us. with your IT, with your marketing wisdoms, and we are open for that. And we will be extremely thankful on behalf of viewers if you can pitch in.
Okay, excellent. Sir, I wanted to ask, so if some listener is interested, now who should they contact? And maybe is there a website or something where they can go and get more information?
Yeah, I think there's a website, support Pochampalli.org. Suresh will send it to all of you. He is running this website. And there is Pallesrujana.org. Palle Srujana, PALLESRUJANA.org. This is on the site. And I'm the contact point in India. Talk to me anytime, call me anytime, mail me. My email ID is, if you can, kind enough to write, honeybeeap. Honeybeeap. AP stands for Andhra Pradesh. Honeybee is honeybee. All continuous one word, at gmail.com. I repeat, honeybeeap@gmail.com. Tell me anything, 24 hours I'm for this. Just call me up. I'll be very glad to contact you and take your advice and see how we can improve upon this.
Okay, that's an excellent message, sir. We would like to thank you from NRI Samay and all the listeners. We wish you and your team very best of everything. We hope the rural innovations become more scalable, economically viable, and socially beneficial. Would you like to say anything else before we wrap up? And right after I say good night to you, I'm going to play two more audio bites that we took from last night. One from the student who actually participated in one of the Sodhyatras, and the other one farmer who is impacted with your work.
Yeah, Revati, she participated in all 4 Sodhyatras we conduct in Andhra Pradesh. They are for 3 days, 40 to 50 kilometers. And this girl, NIT, Warangal, engineer girl, from second year onwards, every year she participates. Every quarter she participates, in fact, and 4 yatras. She's only, that's why I recommend her name. And Guravaya story I told you already. So you want to play that first?
Yes, I will. So do you have some time?
Or you want to
listen to what they?
I would like to listen to them.
Okay, great. So I'm going to play the student that you just mentioned.
All right. So tell me, how did you come to know about Shodhyatras?
About Shodhyatras, I came to know through my friends who got to know about Brigadier Sir through another sir guiding them in a project. So they told me that it's some kind of a rural program where we go to villages, helping them out, and in turn we will be learning something. So actually, I was very interested in going to villages and all till now. So I kind of took a step forward to see what it is, to check it out once. So that's how I started the first time. Then I continued going second, third, and fourth time also.
I see. So obviously you did find it interesting, which is why you went 4 times.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
how did you think it helped in? So you said you also wanted to go there in terms of a learning experience for yourself. So what kind of learning experiences did you have? Can you please share with us?
Yeah, the kind of experiences, initially I'll tell you the main thing which influenced me is the nature, the connection with nature that I couldn't feel when I lived in cities. I'm from the city background,
right?
From the urban background. So when I went to villages, I never felt that close relation with nature. So all this while, 2 days we walked for 38 kilometers the first time. First time, that was an amazing experience. I didn't fall sick also, walking so long. Just in 2 days, covering that much, only on foot, that too. It was amazing experience. That connection with nature that I felt that time. And every time I went.
Interesting. And how did you feel the interaction with the villagers went? Because I'm sure that was also something of a unique experience for you.
Interaction with, pardon me?
Interaction with the villagers.
interaction with villagers.
Yeah.
Villages also, it's a kind of, I'm telling you, urban background. We live in a area where we have independent houses and all, and where rarely we speak to each other and meet during festivals and all. But when you go to villages, the whole village is a one family. That's what I realized in the beginning. The whole village, they live together. They take part in any occasion. Any occasion in one's family, everyone goes to it, and it's like the whole village is a family, and they are very welcoming. Which you might not find anywhere in the urban world where everyone will be busy in their own world. But
Right.
you go to enter a village, they receive you, they treat you, they feed you, everything they take care of you.
I see.
It's like they don't mind staying there forever also. It's like that.
I see.
Very
And
welcoming, all the villages.
right. And well, obviously the goal of Shodhyatras is also to identify obviously the villagers' lifestyle, what they do in their day-to-day lives, and also if there are any sort of rural innovations, identify the grassroots innovators themselves. Did you come across any such innovations during your Shodhyatras in the past 4 ones that you had taken?
Yeah, when we went kind of very remote villages where you can find 2 or 3 houses for almost 5 kilometers. There are only 2 or 3 houses. It's like that. So in such villages also, I could see that people are very intellectual. They have their own means of living their lives without depending on. We have many devices and all which we buy from market and all, but they build them for themselves, which cater their needs. I mean, as in exactly what they need, they build devices as in not electronic and or nothing.
Right.
Whatever is available around them in the nature, they take that and then they implement it for themselves and then they use it. Such kind, I found many little things which amazed me and which helped them out throughout their life.
I see.
Like as in, we normally take steps, but there's a palm tree where they take milk or something.
Right.
I don't know what they call in English. Palm trees, here they call Eeta Chetlu.
Right.
Actually, in the local language.
Right.
We get, they say kallu. I mean, fresh kallu is healthy is good for health.
Right.
So that, while taking that, it's very difficult, but there's one place where I found amazing, where they took out a branch of bamboo tree, branch or trunk, which has steps kind of this thing, but it's not steps actually, but they use that to build, to climb the tree actually.
I see.
That's how they made it. Just the tree, the resources are just the tree, some more twigs of the tree,
Right.
and just rubber, elastic and all that. That's it. Not much devices, but they are living happily all their lives.
Right.
With the minimum resources possible, which we can never expect also.
Right.
That's the thing that amazed me.
Right. So
Many such innovations.
Right. I mean, talking to you just briefly, I get a sense that you're sort of inspired in a way by the simplicity of things and the warmth and the love and the way they lead their lives. So are you going to take this inspiration forward and really try to sort of adopt the style of living in the urban settings as well?
Yeah, sure. I'll try as much as I can. Where, after coming back also, I tried starting something out of plants. Which we can do for ourselves without depending on others. Why can't we when there's nature? One thing for sure, which I found out from Brigadier Sir and his conclusions, and from the nature is nature will help us in any situation we are. When we depend on nature, it will never betray us. Nature is a gift given by God to us.
Right.
So,
very well said. I think you summed up the whole conversation beautifully. Thank you very much for your time, Revati, and good luck with everything.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that was Revati, a young student who has participated in Shodhyatra. Sir, Brigadier Garu, let's listen to the farmer and then we will talk about it quickly.
సో నమస్కారం గురువయ్య గారు. నేను సురేష్ మాట్లాడుతున్నాను NRI Samay తరఫు నుంచి.
చెప్పండి.
మీకు మొన్నే వచ్చిన సామ్సంగ్ ఇన్నోవేషన్ అవార్డు గురించి చెప్తారా? మీరు ఏం చేశారు, దాన్ని ఎలా ప్రభుత్వం గ్రహించి మీకు ఈ అవార్డు ఇచ్చింది, కొంచెం వివరించగలుగుతారా?
ఏమండి, మాకు ఒరి వచ్చినాక మొక్కజొన్న జొన్న వేస్తామండి.
ఆహా, చెప్పండి.
దాన్ని కూలీలకు తోటి ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది.
ఆహా,
అందువల్ల నేను చెవులో మన దసరా మీరు జరిగినట్టు చల్లారండి. అంటే వెద పద్ధతిలో చల్లడం చల్లి చూస్తే దానికి కలుపు వచ్చేసిందండి పంటకి. ఆ కలుపు వస్తే కలుపునే వాళ్ళకి ఎట్లాగే ఆలోచన మీద ఆలోచన చేస్తున్నా. ఈ మూవ్మెంట్ లో లాభ పరిశోధన క్షేత్రంలో వ్యవసాయ మీటింగ్ జరిగిందండి.
అచ్చా.
ఆ మీటింగ్కి వెళ్ళి నేను ఇట్లా సంగతి అండి, ఇట్లా వెళ్ళాను, ఇట్లా వచ్చింది, ఇట్లా గిడ్డ వచ్చిందంటే గిడ్డ వచ్చిన దానికి దాన్ని ఎట్లా చేయాలని నేను అడిగి, యంత్రం ఏదన్నా ఉంటే యంత్రం కనుక ఉంటే యంత్రంతో ఎదబెట్టి మనం గిడ్డి ముందు కొడితే ఆ ప్రాబ్లం లేకుండా లేబర్లో సమస్య లేకుండా పంట పండించని అడిగాను. అడిగితే ఇటువంటి దేశాలు ఎవరు వెనుక్కోలేదా, వరకు వచ్చినాక చెత్తలో వేసేది మేము అదే ఎదురు చూస్తున్నాం, దేశంలో కోరిక ఎవరు కనుక్కోలేదా, 3 సమస్యలు, ఒకటేమో మొక్కజొన్న, 2 పత్తి తీయటం, 3 మిరపకాయ బయట, ఈ 3 రైతులు కనుక్కోవచ్చు, దేశంలో ఎవరు కనుక్కున్న వాళ్ళు లేరండి అని చెప్పారు. దాని మీద ఆలోచన, ఈ 3 కూడా కనుక్కున్న రైతుని ప్రపంచంలో కోటీశ్వరులు జాబితాలో తయారు చేస్తామండి, ఎవరైనా రైతు కనుక్కోవాల్సిందని అన్నారు. అని అప్పుడు దాని మీద మైండ్ నాకు అనుభవం, 40 ఏళ్ళ అనుభవం ఉందండి వ్యవసాయం మీద.
40 ఏళ్ళ అండి?
నా వయసు 60 ఏళ్ళు చంద్ర, 40 ఏళ్ళు వ్యవసాయం చేశా. దాని మీద ఆలోచన ధోరణిలో నేను ఒకదాని నుంచి అంత లాంగ్ ముందుకు పోయా. కనిపెట్టానండి అని చెప్పా, చేసి అంట కనిపెట్టి వెళ్ళని తయారు చేయమన్నారు. బాపట్ల పంపించారు. బాపట్లలో ముందు వ్యవసాయానికి ఎత్తులు తయారు చేసే చిన్నది. ఇంకా అక్కడ నుంచి మళ్ళీ 3 సార్లు ఇసుపెట్టుకు డాక్టర్ అనుసంధానం చేసాం. వాళ్ళు మా దగ్గర ఫండ్స్ లేవండి, మీరు డెవలప్ చేయండి అన్నారు. అంతలో నా పార్టీ వాళ్ళు పల్లె శ్రీజన గణేష్ గారు వాళ్ళు వచ్చి వాళ్ళ నుంచి డెవలప్ చేసి దేశంలో గుర్తింపు వచ్చానండి.
చాలా మంచిదండి, చాలా మంచిది. సో మీకు ఎంతకాలం పట్టిందండి ఇది మీరు కనిపెట్టిన యంత్రం తయారు చేయడానికి? మీరు ఎన్నిసార్లు, అంటే మీరు అప్పుడు అన్ని సొంత డబ్బులే పెట్టుకొని ఇవన్నీ చేసుకుంటా ఉన్నారా?
నేను కొన్ని పెట్టా, కొన్ని నా బట్టలు ఇచ్చారండి.
అచ్చా.
నా బట్టలు దగ్గర ఖర్చు మొత్తం ₹1,00,000 దాదాపు వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చేశారు. ఇంకా వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చాక మనకి ఇంకా అప్పుడు ప్రోత్సాహం చేసినట్టే కదండి. మన జేబులో రూపాయి పెట్టి చెప్పాలి కొరకు మనకు ఉత్సాహంగా నలుగురికి ఉపయోగపడ్డ తీసుకోవడం అయితే సీటుగా చేశానండి.
అదేలేండి, చాలా మంచిదండి. ఇప్పుడు మీరు తయారు చేసిన యంత్రము వేరే రైతులు కూడా వాడుతున్నారండి?
ఇంతవరకు రిలీజ్ గా చేయలేదు, కానీ రిలీజ్ పెట్టాలని కొంత పెడితే రైతులకి దేశాలకు మన అగ్రికల్చర్ తరఫున నేను ప్రతి వ్యవసాయానికి రైతులకి గవర్నమెంట్ సబ్సిడీ మీద వస్తుంది కదా, అట్లా తయారు చేసి ఇస్తే బాగుండని నా ఆలోచన ఉందండి రైతుకి.
అచ్చా. అంటే మరి మీరు ఈ విషయం మీద గవర్నమెంట్ తో మాట్లాడరా ఏమన్నా?
ఇంకా మాట్లాడదామని మీ పోటీ సహాయం చేస్తే దానికి ప్రిపరేషన్ అయి ఉన్నామని, నలుగురికి దేశానికి ఉపయోగపడడం అవుతామని ఉంది నా మనసులో.
ఖచ్చితంగా అండి, మీరు చేసిన మంచి పనులకు తప్పకుండా మీకు అనుకున్న సహాయం అందుతుందని కోరుకుంటూ సెలవు తీసుకుంటున్నానండి.
ఒకటే నేను మాట చెబుతున్నాను,
చెప్పండి.
దేశంలో ఇంతవరకు 0లో ఉంది మిరపకాయ పోయటం అనేది ఇంతవరకు లేదు.
అవును,
వాళ్ళు అలా 3 పోయినారు కాబట్టి నా మనసల్లా మీ పోటీ వాళ్ళు సహకారంగా ఇస్తే నాబార్డు వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చినట్టు ఈయన సహకారం ఇస్తే దాన్ని 3 సంవత్సరాలు తయారు చేసి మీ బోటలకి చూపిద్దామని నా జీవితం ధన్యమైందని మనసులో.
చాలా మంచిదండి. మా వంతు చేయవలసిన ప్రయత్నాలు మేము తప్పకుండా చేస్తాము. అలాగే నాబార్డ్ నుంచి తర్వాత పల్లె సృజన నుంచి వచ్చే సహాయం వాళ్ళు ఎలాగూ మీకు అందుబాటు చేస్తారని చెప్పి అనుకుంటున్నాను.
అట్లా సహకారంగా మీకు చేశారంటే మరుగు లేకుండా దేశంలో ప్రపంచంలో కూడా మీరు మేము అందరం గుర్తింపు వస్తామండి.
చాలా మంచిదండి. చాలా మంచి విషయాలు చెప్పారండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
మంచిదండి.
Brigadier Garu, so we listened to Revati, the young girl student, and Guravaya, the farmer, who is also an innovator. Would you like to add anything before we wrap up the show?
Yeah, I think Revati has been said finally a good thing. You know, when we were walking in last Rodayatra in the night, deep jungle, no cell phones, no communication, no buses, no transport. We were walking 8:30 in the night, and the village was 10 kilometers away. Very thick forest. All children, girls, boys, everybody. We never did that. Dark nights. And I, for one, don't allow torches because they get used to the natural light. Animals can see, birds can see. They don't have infrared, but they can still see. Why can't we? They were scared. They were worried. So I told them, nature is not going to eat you away. Nature is meant to preserve you, protect you. Think like that. Make nature around friends. They didn't believe, but they started getting used to this feeling. And when we reached at 12 o'clock in the night in the village, they found nothing happened to them. Suddenly they found that they walked 20 kilometers without communication. In fact, somebody asked me, if anything happens to us, how do you handle? I said, don't worry, I have the confidence to handle. And they asked me at the end of it, so what confidence you had? I said, my confidence was that nature doesn't harm us. And it didn't. So that's a bit of experiences which they learned. And believe me, these girls had bathed in the river first time open. And the boys protected the area. They never had a bath in the river. Now, these small things matter a lot for children because you lifetime experiences here. We walk on the living bridge, the root bridge in Meghalaya we walked. We make bridges which are non-living. They get old and wear out as they age. Living bridge becomes stronger as it ages. These are the things we must learn, amazing things. And to make a living bridge is a continuous process. You have to grow the roots properly. Elders do it, children watch. Children help and they learn, and their children learn later. It's a traditional knowledge. We don't teach in the colleges these wonderful things. Why not? We must learn to make living things, living bridges, why only non-living things? These ideas you get only when you face them, when you see them, when you experience them. Amazing. I have like to say, close it by, Guravega is an amazing person. It's a lot of things. Explanation perhaps may not have it, but I performed within the last 1 year. I know him very well. Very few are like him. Now, grassroots knowledge is a natural knowledge available with the least investment. Vis-a-vis the innovations we find in R&Ds of government and private. The investment to benefit ratio in a public systems are the maximum, in India at least. In private, even if it is higher, they are not worried because they are going to recover all the cost. But if it is higher, it's not good for society. But grassroots innovations, in 1 lakh, how can anybody make a farm equipment? The ICR cannot make in 1 crore. Because they used all of us, the minds of all of us. All 60 farmers every time use their brains free of cost. So when you use social capital, the cost of innovation reduces drastically. Now that's what the country has to look at, the optimal utilization of non-renewable resources and more exploitation of the renewable resource. That's the brains. I urge all of you to understand the grassroots innovations, see them physically on the websites of nifindia.org, and how significantly they can influence the development of the earth and this country or this world, in addition to what technology gives us. But looking at technology, one set of our technology, ignoring the big technology or the natural innovations in the village, which happen every minute, everything, all over the world, all villages. We need to look at it seriously and see how we can leverage this customers' knowledge. And indeed, thank you very much, friends, wherever you all over the world. You have an excellent, we were very fortunate to have you all. Also, family is one great example of a global family. We're doing a lot. God bless you, and I'm indeed grateful on behalf of Palle Srujana and all the innovators of Andhra Pradesh for this great opportunity. Jai Hind.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. You have a good night.
Okay, good night.